So once upon a time, not very long ago, in a land not very far away, there was a teacher. And a teacher in a classroom with small kids about 7, 8 years old. And she gave an assignment to all the students over there to list down the 7 wonders of the world. And the students started listing down all the 7 wonders of the world, and some of them could remember one wonder, some remember two, some three: the Taj Mahal, the pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China. And then she started collecting the papers from each of the students, and some got 3 right, some got 5 right, some. And then she saw at the corner there was a small girl, and she was still writing something on her paper. And so she went up to that small girl and she inquired, "What is it? Have you do you remember the 7 wonders of the world or something wrong?" So the girl says, "Ma'am, I don't really remember or recall the 7 wonders of the world, but I thought, let me write what I find wonderful, the 7 things that I find wonderful in this world." So she said, "Okay, so can you read out what have you written?" So the girl takes a paper and reads out the 7 things that she finds wonderful in the world. And she reads out, first is to see, second, to smell, third, to taste, fourth, to listen, fifth, to touch, sixth, to laugh, and seven, to love. And there was pin drop silence in the class. And pretty much like this assignment, when we look at what is wonderful in our life, we tend to look at situations and things. We tend to see that, okay, what is the state of my relationships? What's the state of my finances? What's the state of my health? What's the state? Do I have the dream house that I want? Do I have the job that I want? What's the state of my business? We constantly look at something wonderful in our life based on our life situation, if it can be better or it can be different. But none of us really ever recognize that our life is wonderful simply because we are alive. The fact that we can see, we can touch, we can smell, we can hear, we can experience the world. We take life for granted because we are so lost in trying to change life according to how we think it should be. So how is it that we can experience life? Is by being in the present moment, trying to keep our attention right now, here and now, where life is happening in this moment. So I'll talk about three attitudes or 3 orientations which come in, which are like an obstacle of being in the present moment. The first one is we have this attitude of get. This attitude of get basically means that what can I get out of this moment? So we are not really in the moment, but we are using this moment to get something out of it in the next moment. I'm doing my exercise so I can look good in the future. I am doing this work so I can get something out in the future. There's always this attitude of trying to get something. It's almost like we're using the moment as a resource for the next moment. So you're not in the moment. The second thing that comes in the way of being in the moment is this attitude of should. We all feel that this moment should be in a certain way. Then I will be happy. Now, if I'm like sitting, then my mind should be calm. Then I'll be happy. If I'm going to work, then I should feel motivated and inspired. Only then I'll be happy. So we always have some should of how I should be. How should others be? How should my life situation be? And this should that comes as a big obstacle of being completely in the moment. The third obstacle that comes of being in the moment is of why bother, which essentially means we don't even make any effort to be in the moment. We are just lost in our thoughts, either of the past, either of the future, some fantasy and imagination about the future, some thoughts about the past, memories, good, pleasant, unpleasant. So we are not even, it's almost like, why bother even trying to be in the present moment? So these are the obstacles. We are trying to get something out of the moment, or we want the moment to be should in a certain way, or why even bother being in the present? So let me end with a quote. It's my own quote. When we transform our relationship with the present moment from wanting to get something out of it to being in it for its own sake, we become one with life. Namaste. Thank you.